What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Wednesday, December 31st. And yes, today is my last dog video of 2025. Now, I want to share with you personally some of my highlights that I've thoroughly enjoyed over the year. And the reason I'm sharing this video with you is because you really have to look at all the accomplishments that Dog has done. Because since we show up every single day, we don't really look back to see and honor our accomplishments as a community that is 100% decentralized. So I just want to look back and see how much we've done together, not just by myself, but how we've all as a community achieved one of the most incredible years possible. So let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and do a quick recap. So let's go ahead and smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. And please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So one thing that we always have to capture is that Dog has reached the largest good sentiment, positive sentiment of all meme coins this year. Yes, in the entire year of 2025, Dog surpassed Dogecoin, Pengu, and Pepe. That's just how powerful Dog narrative and also Dog community is organic, and how that has pushed Dog to be at the forefront of every main topic. This is why people speak very positively and very negatively about Dog, is because it captures that mind share. But most of the mind share is in good sentiment. One of my other favorites was Wall Street Bets. Now, you are aware that Jamie from Wall Street Bets was pretty much responsible for GameStop and also AMC stock and fighting against the hedge funds. And now he's been recently tweeting about Dog quite a bit this year. And so obviously Jamie is a big fan of Dog because it fights against the system. He recognizes that Dog is a movement and that it resonates with what Wall Street Bets stands for, against Wall Street. So Dog stands against the corruption that happens within the industry of crypto. And I love this about Wall Street Bets. Another accomplishment that we have to recognize is that thanks to many of the Dog Army members, even though in August of 2025, the cryptocurrency market was in a bear market, but yet the Dog Army still showed up to the CoinMarketCap's Boost Me contest. And this was simply to see who had the most engagement, creating the most content using the hashtag BoostMeCMC. And Dog won that challenge and was featured on the top page and main page of CoinMarketCap. And we also have to give a shout out to C2 Blockchain, a new publicly traded company that recently had started acquiring Dog in its strategic reserve. So you know that MicroStrategy, aka Michael Saylor, is stacking Bitcoin for their Bitcoin strategy. Well, C2 Blockchain is doing the exact same thing for Dog. Now, this is amazing because this is probably just one of the very first companies that we're going to see in 2026. Dog is a set limited supply of 100 billion tokens. It will never grow. It really is just a set supply that is pretty much a store of value on the blockchain. So that's why we're seeing C2 Blockchain garner that exposure in their portfolio. And this is just something I want to give a shout out to C2 Blockchain and their team. This is one of my favorite highlights of this year. Also, I want to give a shout out to Matthew Barby. Remember, Matthew Barby was one of the very first people to talk about runes, to talk about ordinals, and show some interest. And even this, he was saying Rune June back in June 15th of 2025. It didn't just stop there, because we ended up doing an interview with Matthew Barby to talk about his thoughts on the meme coin super cycle, the rune super cycle, Dog, you name it. I mean, he was really bullish and really transparent around how the team had talked about wanting runes and supporting them in some certain way. And that's why we have runes today listed on Kraken exchange. So I just want to give a shout out to Barbie. This was one of the most intriguing interviews that you definitely have to check out. I'll put a link on the upper right hand side if you haven't seen it on YouTube. But this interview is absolutely juicy and something that you should look forward to in 2026. Now, I have to give a shout out to Arjun Sethi, the CEO of Kraken Exchange. Now, this was one of my favorites early in June 6th of 2025 when he started changing his profile pictures with a dog cameo. And this was one of the things I thought, wow, I never thought I would see this coming if you were to ask me in 2024 that a CEO would change his profile picture with a dog cameo, yet he did. And he posted this specific video, which I love. He was using these AI generated videos with the stormtroopers and basically hinting, is Dog going to be listed first? Well, you got to check out this video. I'm going to play it right now.
Man, only 15 more days left of Rune June.
I know. What do you think the first rune token is going to be?
And that wasn't the only video that the team had played, because you started seeing Kraken, the official account that has over 1.7 million followers and many more million users across the world, made a specific AI trailer for Dog. So that's what I love about this team. This specific post reached around 1.7 million views. And that video was just the very first one. Check out this one. This is another video when the launch of Dog was available to trade on Kraken. And this is why I just love the team. They are absolutely supportive. They're so bullish on Bitcoin runes, especially Dog. Even Arjun Sethi is pitching Dog to Cynthia Lummis, who we just found out Cynthia Lummis is going to be retiring very soon as a senator in Wyoming. But even he was pitching Dog over to Cynthia Lummis. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out his interview. We did an amazing interview, a one-on-one with Arjun Sethi, talking about Dog, why he's bullish on Dog, and also bullish on Bitcoin runes, why they wanted to implement runes into the platform, the complications, but also the hurdles they had to go through, but also what they look forward to in the near future. And this is what we could expect in 2026. I'll put a link on the upper right hand side if you haven't seen this on YouTube already. Let's go to another highlight. Remember, back in July, we had a meme coin showdown. This was regarding a meme coin being featured on the rear wing of the Williams racing car in the Singapore Grand Prix, and that was this year. And believe it or not, the Dog community showed up. Yes, no team members, no VC backing. This was 100% the Dog community, and it did over $10 million in just 1 month of trading volume. And it even surpassed Bonk. Yes, it even surpassed Bonk, a VC-backed team member token. So the fact that Dog can flip legacy meme coins such as Bonk just goes to show how amazing Dog is compared to these other meme coins that have a lot of insider allocations. So I expect that in 2026, Dog is going to flip all these major blue chips that you see today. Let's also give a shout out to Gemini. Now, I know how people feel about Gemini possibly engagement farming, but based on this image that I've shared with you, they've engaged regardless. And I have to give a shout out, this is one of my favorite highlights of this year, is that when the Dog Army found out that the Gemini team was going to launch a competition, that whoever had the most likes would be featured in their TikTok video, well, Austin Oaks, who's their content creator, did see that we won in that competition and featured Dog. And that started a whole slew of different responses from the Gemini team. Like me saying, I want to buy Dog on Gemini. And they said, same to be honest. They also removed that tweet. And then you have Sablin who said, any updates for Dog? And they said, still barking. And then I said, still waiting for Gemini to say Dog. And they replied with the dog emoji and the eye emoji. And even back then, when I asked them to say it again, they said, don't forget to have fun, with DOG kind of hidden there. And then we also have Couture, who ended up typing in, I have this gut feeling that they're cooking something up for us. And then you saw that Gemini liked his posts. So this is one of my favorite parts of this year, is that Gemini could be the next exchange to list Dog for spot trading in 2026. So that's why I say look forward and still stay engaged with Gemini. And last but not least, we have to give a shout out to the end of the year interview to Mark Yusco, a major hedge fund, multi-billion-dollar hedge fund at Morgan Creek Capital. Now, Mark Yusco, as you know, is very bullish on Dog. We talked about a potential Dog ETF, but also why he sees that the right meme coin needs to be on the right chain, which is Bitcoin, and Dog follows suit in that. He's a huge fan of everything being built on Bitcoin, such as Ordinals and runes, and that eventually all roads will lead to this specific sector. You have to check out this interview. This is one of my favorite interviews of the year, but it's absolutely juicy. I'll put a link on the upper right hand side so that you can check that out on YouTube as well. But this is by far one of my favorite interviews this year, along with Matthew Barby and Arjun Sethi. Now, as we close off of the year of 2025, and this being my last video of 2025, I want to tell you personally, thank you so much for sharing up every single day, during the ups and downs, during emotional times and also scary times, but also through the ups and positive moments where we celebrate winning competitions, being featured on Formula One, having amazing interviews from thought-provoking leaders and innovators and builders like Kraken, like Morgan Creek Capital. And I want to say that these interviews with these major players in the game wasn't done by me. No. It was actually the community members. All of you, and I can't name them all, but all of you reached out and said, will you do an interview with Cryptolution, or will you do an interview with Leonidas? Yes, it was all of you that said that and tagged these people. And because of that, they responded saying yes. And that's why these interviews did happen. So I just want to say, we are not here without you. You are not here without us. We are here together as the #1 Bitcoin meme coin community with the best sentiment of all meme coins. But you got to think about DOG as not just a meme coin and not just a movement. It's literally the best token in cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin. It's the #1 fungible token on Bitcoin. It's the #1 fungible token by market cap on Bitcoin. But by far, I believe it's better than Ethereum. I believe it's better than Solana. I believe it has more of a store of value than anything else other than Bitcoin. So to me, this just makes more sense for us to be paying attention in 2026 because you know that 2026 is the year of DOG. And so I just want to say thank you so much for just showing up every single day. It keeps me motivated, and I couldn't be here without all of you. So thank you so much for supporting me, and to continue supporting me, please like that button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding DOG Moon. Till then, I will see you guys and girls tomorrow in 2026.